Hey friends, it's Miss Drews with your writing. Okay, so if you are coming in here, you're getting ready to do your Schoology job for writing. Now, I will say first, before I get started, you might be using Kami like I'm showing you for the first time. So I'm going to be showing you some tips and some pointers. If you've been with me and you're in my class and you're using Kami, of course, we use Kami a whole lot, but I'm going to give you some tips and reminders, obviously, too, as we go on. Okay, and then if you are using Google Slides with your teachers or even a paper copy, then it's going to be similar directions and information. It just, of course, will look a little different. Okay, so today for your writing, we are going to be kind of mixing in our poetry with a very important person in our country's history, Martin Luther King Jr. Okay, yesterday you had off. Okay, you did not have school on Monday, and hopefully you were able to discuss with your teacher and maybe even your families of why we have that day off, and it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Okay, and then so I wanted to, and I thought, for me for writing, I was like, I could put it on Friday, but I didn't want to rush through it because we do lots of different stuff in our class on Friday. So I just decided to do and learn a little bit more after as well. So hopefully you got a little bit of a taste last week of some information. Today you're going to be able to get more here and then also in your classes, hopefully as well. So once you are here in Schoology, if you are using Kami, you're going to see that K for Kami button, okay, to click open, all right? If you are new to using this, don't click here because it's not going to let you do anything. It's just going to be, it's called a PDF. Can't do anything, but just read it, okay? I won't be able to put my work in or anything. So make sure you always use the K for Kami, okay? And if you are new to Kami and you need to download it, then you can get help from your teacher or your parents at home, okay? Your teacher will be sending you some information, okay? So once I open up Kami, here it comes. All right. And there's lots of cool things in Kami that I'm going to show you along the way as we are learning about Martin Luther King Jr. today. Okay. So right here, it does tell you on the first slide, pick from slide number 2 or 3 to type or insert an image of Martin Luther King Jr. poem. Okay. So when you scroll down in Kami, it's going to be the same thing as always. I can go over here and I can scroll down. I can use my arrows on my keyboard. Okay. I'm going to see a poem here that we're about to go over. So I could pick this one that says dream down the side, or I can pick this one that says his name, Martin Luther King. Okay, this one's a little bit more challenging because it has lots of good lines for you to think of and write. Okay, so I get to pick which one, or if I really want to, okay, and I get excited, then I can do both of them, okay, or if I want to challenge myself. Okay, but before we get started, I wanted to look at this quote. This is one of my favorite quotes from Martin Luther King Jr. It says, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." So when he's talking about darkness, he's talking about some things that maybe aren't going well, the things that are the choices that people make sometimes that are not so good. And we know, unfortunately, that happens. So he's trying to teach us here in this quote, okay, that if somebody's doing something that's not safe or not right or not kind, it's not a good way to solve it by doing the same thing back to them, like being mean to them or being hurtful to them. What you can do when someone's not making a good choice is you can show them kindness and be that light, the goodness in the world to make sure that we start seeing change. And that is for you as second graders. When you see somebody kind of not being kind or not doing the right thing, stand up and be that upstander and tell them, hey, that's not okay, and show them some compassion, some love back, okay, and be kind to them, because most of the time it rubs off on that person and they get to see that there are better ways to do things. And even adults the same way. I know I work on this too myself, is trying to, when I see people and I see adults that are not being safe or not making good choices, I try to be that light like Martin Luther King Jr. here is showing. And I try to show that love to the people and try to make sure that they are hopefully making some better choices. Okay. So I get off track because I love that quote, and I love his message that he gave to us in his life. All right, so back to your work. So when you are here, there is going to be a place where you can click play. Of course, hopefully you can see that you will be able to click play here. I'm going to attach this video onto your Schoology just in case you get here and you're like, what? So you can use this in Schoology too first to get an idea that there'll be video here of me that you can click again if you needed to listen. Okay. But when you're clicking on the video, it's going to be important that you're using the right tool in Kami. Okay. If I'm like over here trying to draw and I click on it, it's gonna draw on the video, y'all. So you can't use any other tool. You need to use this very top one, select, okay? And of course you can do different ones if you want to use the hand instead, but I always just use the top one, okay? And when I click select, then I'm gonna be able to, when I scroll over, it changes color so that I know that I can click play. And it is gonna take me into YouTube. From Kami. So we've talked about, and I use it in class too. If there's an ad, I can just click this mute button because I don't need to listen to them. Okay. I don't need to persuade it into anything. And then when this comes up, I can click skip ads. Okay. I know y'all are YouTube experts, I'm sure. Okay. And then I can turn my volume back up. Okay. I don't click on anything extra down here. I don't click and type searches up here. Okay. Especially when we're supposed to be doing our work for school. We don't want to do other things. We want to be safe online. Okay. And then when you're outside of school and you're doing YouTube, make sure you're following your family's rules and expectations. Okay. Excuse me. So you're going to be able to listen to it here. If you want to make it big, of course, remember the full screen is here and I can make it big to listen to. But this is going to be a video that some of you listen to in class with your teachers or you listen to on your own. Okay. So you're going to be listening and paying close attention to some good facts from Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. Okay. When you are finished, you're going to go back on to your tab, and the K for Kami tab is right there, and also says writing job. And then you're going to scroll down, and again, you're going to pick either this poem or this poem to write, okay? So there's a couple different choices now when it's time to write of how you want to write it, okay? I can use my spiral, and I can open up to a brand new page, okay? And I could put my letters going down. Excuse me. I could put my letters going down and copy it from the screen. D, R, E, A, M. Okay. And I'm using marker so you can see it, but I would use pencil if I was truly making this poem so that I could fix it. Then you can trace it in marker if you want to. So once you have that, and I kind of skipped a line if I'm doing it on paper or if I'm doing it on my whiteboard. And I try to, and these aren't capitalized, but what I can do, I can capitalize them, I can circle them, because this is an acrostic poem. It's not super important that you know what the word is of an acrostic poem, but an acrostic poem, like on my paper here, like I copied, and like on here on the screen that I'm about to use so that you can see it a little bit better, it has an important word or a main idea of your poem, and it spells the word down the side, and then you pick each letter to tell a detail of a poem, okay, of your poem. So today when I'm doing dream, I'm thinking of Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream for everybody to have that light and love in the world and to be able to stand up and make changes for the better and for people to treat each other the right way, okay? So when I'm thinking of those things, I already have my lines started for a poem because I know poems are shorter lines. They don't necessarily go end to end and have full sentences. So today when I'm thinking of something to think of Martin Luther King or his dream, then I'm going to start this first line with the letter D. That means I need to think of a word, okay, a phrase that means part of a sentence, or I can start a full sentence here too. But I'm going to make it about Martin Luther King Jr. and about his message that we've learned today. So I don't have to go in order when I'm doing an acrostic poem. I can kind of skip around when I have an idea. So if I'm just thinking of him, you know what? Martin Luther King Jr. is his name. I see an M. So I'm going to go down here and I can use text for typing, and I can change my colors and have fun if I want to. But whenever I'm ready to type on Kami, I click where I want it to type. Okay. Excuse me. And then I type what I want, okay? And look what I did here. I'm gonna click off onto the side. I used the M right there, okay? And then I spelled the rest of his name right next to it, Martin Luther King Jr., okay? And I could do the same thing on my paper or on my whiteboard as well, okay? And then I'm going to keep going to see if I can think of everything else. R, I'm going to put up here, R, he reminds us to be kind. Okay, now again, I didn't put the full sentence because I wanted it to start with the R. So I put reminds us to be kind, okay? And I'm not going to do too many ideas because I want you to be thinking of it. So be thinking of what he is teaching us. Be thinking of maybe how to describe him. He's a kind man. He was compassionate. That means he was full of love. He was an important person in our history. He made lots of changes in our world. So when you're thinking of these letters, think of what I'm teaching you here or what your teacher has taught you or your family, or think of what the video has taught you too. Okay. Once you're done with one, either this one or this one here, okay, once you're finished, then if you want to, oh, forgot. If you want to, you can do a drawing tool and you can color in or do some drawing extra to add to the picture. Just make sure that you are being kind and respectful because this is a real picture of him. We wouldn't want to do anything silly on his face or on his clothes or things like that. But you could add some things to the picture if you'd like to be kind. Okay. But once you are finished, last but not least, okay, is you are going to, oh, I forgot. Sorry. I forgot because I know some of you are new to Kami. If you do not want to type, sorry, back up. I know this video is a little longer than usual. If you do not like to type and you did use it on paper like I showed you, you can make a video for sure on here and show your work for your teacher. Or if most of us, it'll let you use a camera as well. Let me show you how to do that. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to go to this part right here. Looks like a talking bubble. And it says comments. I'm going to click on it. Now, some of you have the feature of being able to click on where it says to put a picture in. If it doesn't, everybody should see one that looks like this of a camera. Okay, so when I click the camera, okay, there we go. Click the camera and it's selected. I'm going to click on the slide that I want my picture to come into. So I did this one on my paper. Oops, excuse me, long hair. I'm going to click somewhere on there. And then as soon as I click somewhere on there, I am starting to record. And if I scroll over here, I can see my picture. Oh, well, and because I'm recording, so it's not really recording here. But you would be, when you are recording, your face would be like right there. Okay, let's pretend. All right. And I would read my story to my teacher, okay, so that she can hear. And then I would show it the last little bit, okay, and leave it up there for a couple seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay, then you could be like, bye, teacher. And then you could click done. And then it'll come up. Oh, it did record me. Okay, it'll come up and you can double check and make sure that everything is here like you want it to be. Okay, and then once you're all finished here, you click this right here where it says turn in. And then it's going to take you to Schoology right away and let you click your turn in button like always. Okay, so don't forget this part to click turn in so that it gets sent to your teacher. All right, I know you can't see me because it went back here. Oh, that's by the way, if you need a laugh, you can laugh with me because it's kind of a funny ending mark right there. All right, my friends. So I hope you enjoy learning about Martin Luther King Jr. as much as I do, and we cannot wait to see your poems and your thoughts. See you next time.